last episode, I said that I would choose which side I wanted to go for. So, I decided, because I figure I can level up in that later, I can get that, I will EVE on that Niage, which is backwards for join the Navy. Oh, good cutscene. Spaceship flying through the air. Guess that means I'm in the Navy. Good to go. Year 1.
Welcome aboard the space station Chesapeake Bay, sailor. It looks like you've picked up some standard weapon skills at basic on Coronado Island. Now it's time for your tour of duty. Your tour will consist of 4 postings over 4 years. In this man's Navy, you're given a choice of 3 different postings a year. It's up to you to decide what kind of career you want to have, so choose wisely. Just approach a shuttle bay to receive a briefing on a posting. If you think that posting is right for you, head into that bay to accept the assignment.
I'm kind of regretting choosing the Navy now, because they call me Sailor. I don't like being called Sailor. It's like, hello, Sailor. What's this do?
The UNN Lucille is looking for an ops training officer to learn the ship's navigation and data control systems. You'll get your feet wet with the high-tech systems, but also expect some heavy lifting. The UNN Lucille is looking for an engineer's mate to help maintain the ship's core energy systems. There's some heavy lifting involved, sailor, but you'll learn your way around the high-tech equipment. The UNN Lucille is looking for volunteers for their military police detachment. Those sailors can get pretty rowdy on these year-long cruises, so you better not be afraid of a tussle.
I heard MPs are pretty awesome, so... According to the Jack Reacher books. Which are epic. February 13th, 2112. Hey, that's a Rush song. Your tour of duty aboard the UNN Lucille has concluded. You've spent a productive year, though you didn't make a lot of friends. Between toughening up by putting drunken middies in the sick bay, you had plenty of downtime in the armory to play with the pretty toys. You've gained 1 modify and 1 strength.
Laverne, Florida hosts the Navy's premier tactical training school. While maybe not as respected as the Marines facility at Fort Bush, there's a lot to be learned here. The UNN Pierce is ferrying liberated political prisoners back home from their detention near Saturn. The Pierce has been assigned a detachment of Marines and needs sailors to load, administer, and maintain the arms on board the ship. The UNN Carfax is undertaking a mission to examine a newly discovered Class B comet approaching the outer solar system. You'll likely pick up some useful skills working with the high-tech navigation systems aboard this newly commissioned heavy cruiser.
That's why I'm kind of leveling up evenly. By that I mean, like, I already chose the tech one first, and then I chose the gun one, and then, it was a good year for you, but not as great. 1 for the Carfax. After taking a surprising hit from a small meteorite that separated from the larger mass, the Carfax was forced to limp home with 123 casualties, including the chief navigation officer. You stepped in and filled his shoes, and by the end of the year, you became quite skilled with the neuro-nav interface. Yay! I hate them saying yay, because some guy that I was working for died.
The Navy strongly encourages every sailor to undertake some amount of zero-G training. A year at the Yamamoto space station in Earth's orbit will more than suffice.
I love zero-G.
The Navy maintains a survival training school on the surface of Io, the third moon of Jupiter. Pros? There's no better way to improve stamina and survival skills. Cons? The 21.2% mortality rate.
I bet you I'll survive if I choose that one.
The Navy's Marie Curie research facility on Aquinas 4 is currently conducting research on a new strain of spaceborne virus that killed 220,000 citizens of New Atlanta. To lift the quarantine, we must determine how the virus pierced the city's micronanite shielding. The Navy strongly encourages every sailor to undertake some amount of zero-G training.
Yeah, I have zero-G training now. I wish that, like, you could actually fly around zero-G on this game. I mean, I don't know if you can or not. Your tour of duty at Yamato Station has concluded. You certainly weren't prepared for the events of this year. Captain Bullets was never popular with his men, but you never expected half the crew to mutiny. The taut days spent regaining control of the ship with the captain lent you a grace and agility you never knew you were capable of. Yay, we're getting somewhere now. My name, Soldier G6543 or something. 14. What's this code?
Shuttle A138. You have clearance for landing on the Von Braun in Shuttle Pt.2. Welcome aboard, soldier.
Reinitializing memory strings. Restoring patient memory. Restoring memory. Restoring memory.
I've forgotten everything that I just went through. It's okay, they're releasing me anyway.
Steady yourself, soldier. This is Dr. Janice Polito of the Computer Ops Staff of the Von Braun. You're safe for the time being. You're recovering from the effects of surgery and will be unable to remember any of the events of the last few weeks. You're on board the starship Von Braun and something's gone very, very wrong. Some kind of force has hijacked this ship.
I'm breathing in the chemicals. Welcome to the new age, to the new age.